Welcome back. We are set for Isabel and Armour. Let's go to the PA and Wade Fisher. Wade?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We are pleased to welcome you to this session of the State Boys High School Basketball Tournament. The South Dakota High School Activities Association reminds everyone that these state tournament games are intended for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the proper support of student athletes. Support good sportsmanship during all the state tournament games. Now announcing the lineups in this afternoon's first game, we have the Packers of Armour High School and the Wildcats of Isabel High School. First announcing the cheerleaders for Armour: Heather Wright, Angela Barrick, Sarah Foose, Katrina Reimnitz, and Jennifer Hoffman. And now the reserve players for the Armour Packers. Number 11, Brett Gehring. Number 15, Chris Gehring. Number 21, John Wonder. Number 41, Drew Anderson. Number 43, Jeff Gillum. Number 45, Steve Miller. And number 13, David Knorr. Now announcing the starting lineup for the Packers of Armour High School. Starting at one guard, a 5'11" senior, number 23, Dean Voigt. At another guard, a 6'1" senior, number 35, Chris Peters. At one forward, a 6'1" junior, number 31, Chris Pfeiffer. At another forward, a 6'3" senior, number 33, Austin Ledabor. And at center, a 6'3" junior, number 25, Tony Knorr. Head coach Bernal Glanzer, he is assisted by Ron Weber. And now the cheerleaders for Isabel: Jennifer Bone, Kayla Boyson, Phoebe Harris, and Nikki Mayer. And now the reserve players for the Isabel Wildcats. Number 14, Brandon Heck. Number 20, Joe Locken. Number 24, Randy Finkbeiner. Number 30, John High Elk. Number 32, Richie Hutchinson. Number 34, Sam Stradinger. And number 44, Bryce Linskov. And now the starting lineup for the Wildcats of Isabel High School. Starting at one guard, a 5'10" junior, number 22, Lance Brown-Otter. At another guard, a 5'11" senior, number 52, Jace Waddell. At one forward, a 6'1" junior, number 42, Bruce Bierman. At the other forward, a 6' senior, number 50, Casey Kirsteins. And at center, a 6'4" senior, number 40, Brooke Begeman. Head coach Brent Linska. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand as we honor the flag of our country? Please join in singing our national anthem as it is played by the Timberlake High School Panther Band under the direction of Julie Ginderson. We would remind all in attendance the proper respect is to remove your cap or hat, face the flag, and stand at attention with your right hand over your hearts.
tonight, John Wilson. Armour has been a constant here at the tournament. Their 4th straight state tournament. They haven't won it in those 4 years, but they've been close, and they've won 2 championships under Burnell Glanzer in his 22 years there. Burnell Glanzer, almost 500 games coaching in South Dakota high school basketball. He's won more than 400 of them. And it's just tradition is what you talk about when you talk about Armour a little bit.
Exactly, and it was interesting yesterday sitting through the warm-ups. All the teams with State B experience, pretty laid back and loose, pretty much just shooting around. The teams with less state tournament experience, they had a hard hour of practice. I mean, there were people hitting the floor all throughout their practice, and it was interesting to see. But Burnell Glanzer pretty much sitting back and letting his kids enjoy the State B.
Yeah, tough to gauge how much experience is going to help you. But Isabel in its 2nd state tournament, 1990 was the last time. Lance Brownotter is the man with the basketball. He'll run the show. 52 is Jace Waddell. Waddell from about 18 feet. Averages 16 points a game. That's 2nd on the team. And Waddell gets the Wildcats of Isabel out to a 2-0 start. Chris Peters is number 35. This is Tony Knorr, number 25 for Armour. The man with the ball right now is Austin Ledebor. Averages 22 a game. Dean Boyd. And 23 is Dean Boyd in the starting lineup. Wouldn't go for Ledebor, but a rebound for Boyd. Ledebor one more time from about 16 feet, and it rolls in. Austin Ledebor in his 4th straight state tournament. Started when he was a freshman.
I had the pleasure of covering that region championship against Geddes. Every time Armour came down the court, first person to get it to was Austin Ledebor. He'd either drive or hit from the outside. He was on fire in that game, as he has been all year long.
Ledebor will be not really the first option. They run the Colorado shuffle, get a lot of those shots at the elbow, and they don't really set a lot of things for Ledebor, but he creates a lot of things himself. This is Tony Knorr, who's a junior. For Tony, he averages 17 points, 7 rebounds a game, 6'3" junior. Tied up at 4. At the other end, Casey Kirsteens was the man who hit that shot. That's Kirsteens, number 50. This is Brownotter. Number 40 is Brooke Begeman, the big scorer for Isabel. 22 points, 12 rebounds a game. Isabel, 3 for 3 from the field, 6-4 Wildcats. Staying in the man-to-man. Armour will stay man-to-man entirely. We don't know about Isabel. They might throw a zone at you once in a while, and there's a 3. Austin Ledebor. Armour back up 7-6. Waddell. Pretty little pull-up. He has 4. Isabel 4 for 4 from the field.
Pretty good crowds, too, from both schools. Despite the rough weather conditions up here, we endured it on the way up here. The road's just terrible up in the Aberdeen area.
Wouldn't go for Ledebor. Rebound by Brooke Begeman, and Brownotter will run it the other way. 3 by Kirsteens, and that's the first miss for Isabel. And Peters will run it back the other way, the left-hander. Jace Waddell picks up first foul of the ball game. Waddell's a senior. There are 3 seniors in the starting lineup for Isabel. Waddell, one of them, 5'11". This is Voigt. Also one of 3 seniors in the lineup for Armour. Wouldn't go for Peters. Rebounded by Bruce Bierman. Waddell. Talked to Brent Linskov yesterday. He said Waddell's got one of the prettiest little penetrate and pull-up jump shots you'll ever see in high school basketball. And the Packers turn it over, and Isabel up by 1 will run it back the other way. 3 minutes into quarter number 1. 8-7 Isabel. Peters has got a 3-on-1. He'll take it himself. First 2 for Chris. Averages 15 a game. 9-8 Packers just underway, first quarter. Taken away again by Tony Knorr. That's 2 in a row for the junior. Nice defense, and Peters will set the offense.
Another thing Armour very good at, creating points off of turnovers as well.
Armour averages 72 points a game. That's the highest in the tournament. Dean Boyd couldn't get it to go, but Chris Pfeiffer with a rebound. Back-to-back buckets by Chris Peters, and Armour's opened up a 3-point lead, 11-8 Packers. Midway through quarter number 1. 4 starters back from last year's tournament team for Armour. And again, they try to go inside to Brooke Begeman. And the Packers will run it off the turnover. 6 in a row for Peters, and Isabel wants a timeout. Armour on a little bit of a run, 13-8 Packers.
'6'1" senior Chris Peters.
And he's got 6 points, and Armour has a 5-point lead at 13-8. 3:20 to play, first quarter. Isabel comes in at 15-3. 2 of those losses were to McIntosh, who is also in the tournament. They will play Sully Buttes tonight. Waddell with that pull-up. Nice little touch. 6 for Jace Waddell. Cuts the Armour lead to 3. This is Ledabor. 31 is Chris Pfeiffer. 15 into the ball game for the Packers is Chris Gehring. He averages 2 points a game. He's got his first 2 already in the first quarter. Back to a 5-point Armour lead. Waddell, short rebound. Casey Kirsteens couldn't get it to go, and Tony Knorr rebounds. Packers can push the lead to 7. With the 2, Burnell Glanzer screaming for some ball movement as Isabel now has gone to the zone. Ledabor with Brownotter in his face. Penetration to Chris Gehring, who almost got his second one to go, but out of bounds off of Armour.
Armour showing some height in the inside. They can also put it up from the outside. You mentioned leading in scoring, and one of the highest scoring teams in the State B class. And once again, Austin Ledabor, deadly from the outside as well.
Jace Waddell hit his first 3 shots, missed a couple down in a row, and Peters will run it back the other way. 1:35 to play in the first quarter. Tony Knorr off a good feed from Ledabor. Couldn't get it to go, got it back. 4 for Tony Knorr, and it's a 7-point Armour lead. Knorr, just a junior. He's got a brother, David, who's an 8th grader, who might see a little time here in the tournament. But talking to their father before the game, he's just excited for next year when Tony and David will be in the lineup together. And Peters has 8 in the quarter, and Armour has a 9-point lead at 19-10.
And 6 of those 8 points coming off layups.
Off the push, Armour will try to get it out and run a little bit on Isabel, who supposedly has the height advantage, but Begeman was hacked inside. Foul goes on Tony Knorr. That's just the first team foul on Armour, though. Knorr at 6'3", and Brooke Begeman at 6'4". Listed that way, about the same size, though. Here's Begeman, 22 points a game. That's a 3 if it goes. 5 now for Begeman, cuts the lead to 6. 19-13 Armour, just about through quarter number 1. There's the game clock, the quarter clock down in your right-hand corner. Against the zone, and Glanzer calls for the spread. They're going to play it for 1. Is John Wonder into the ball game for Armour, replacing Chris Gehring. Peters for 3. The Wildcats may get a shot off, but do not do so. So after 1 quarter, Armour On the strength of 8 points from Chris Peters, the Packers by 6 after 1. A Dean Voigt fan, I'm guessing, from Armour. He and his teammates with a 6-point lead as we start quarter number 2. And on cue, Dean with the miss, rebounded by Knorr. Isabel still in that zone. And this is Voigt again. Off glass, wouldn't go, ripped down by Bierman, excuse me. Bierman is 42. Brooke Begeman is 40 for the Wildcats. Begeman backs in. He's got 7. And Isabel's back within 4. Skinny guy in there, but he's doing a little banging, Johnny.
That he is, matching up with Armour's front line, big front line.
Voigt missed it, got it back, left hand, still won't go for Dean Voigt. And another rebound for Bierman.
It's interesting to know, we talked to a lot of the coaches, how much scouting's involved when you face teams from West River to East River. Not a lot of, not a good look at a lot of these teams. You know, you have to rely on maybe a film or two.
Going a lot on videotape. Yeah, you don't see him in person. Would go for Waddell at the other end, and Peters can't get it to go. Bierman again rips it down. And Kirsteens will slow it up and give it to Lance Brownotter. Again inside, Begeman. Nice little move on the baseline. That's 9 now for Brooke Begeman. Isabel back within 2. They've run off 4 quick ones. Take a look at the Norwest stat board through 8 minutes. Just more shots and more makes for Armour with the difference there. A lot of those layups for Chris Peters.
Both teams rather cold outside the arc. Just both teams 1 of 4 3-pointers.
Brent Linskoff, the man in your left-hand part of your screen there, just 25 years old.
Returns to his hometown where he played high school, and also returns where he played college ball. He's right here at Northern State.
Played 2 years for the Wolves, and we got a foul on Casey Kirsteens on the loose ball. Linskoff was Mr. Basketball back in 1990. Scored 80 points in 3 tournament games for Isabel that year.
Also set a South Dakota high school scoring record, scoring over 2,000 points, 2,083 points.
He's got a bunch. He's got a cousin that plays on the team, Bryce Linskoff. Isabel back to the zone. They're down by 2, 19-17 Armour. 5:40 to play before halftime. Tony Knorr bottled up inside.
But Tony got away with a walk in the lane and let him go.
He goes for Ledabor, but Peters is there for the Packers. We've had quite a few offensive rebounds here in the first half. Foul on Begeman. Tony Knorr will shoot 2. First foul on Begeman. And again, that's off the offensive rebound by Peters. They swung it. Got it to Knorr. .77% free throw shooter on the season. There's Burnell Glanzer, 8th all-time on the win list for coaches in South Dakota.
The thing that surprised me yesterday is how many guys can get up and dunk this thing. Dunk these in high school basketball. You don't see it much during the season.
Turn around for Begeman. He's one of them that can get up and do it. 6'4", those long arms. A lot of the coaches say it's weight programs. A lot of these guys are football players, and those weights can add a couple inches to the vertical. Tony Knorr from 18 feet. 8 points for Knorr, back to a 4-point lead for Armour. Brownotter yet to take a shot. He runs the show as Armour now back into the zone. Don't see that very often. Then go for Kirsteens, rebounded by Ledabor. 21 is John Wonder, sophomore off the bench. for the Packers and blocked inside. That's going to be 2 fouls now on Brooke Begeman. 2 quick ones as Pfeiffer got inside on him.
Packers continually dump it inside, and they're getting some easy shots off glass inside.
Chris Pfeiffer, just a junior, but he was here, played quite a bit last year in the state tournament for Armour. Couldn't get either one of them to go, so it stays at a 4-point lead for the Pack. 4:15 to play, second quarter. Brownotter sets him inside to Begeman, and Tony Knorr is going to get whistled for his second foul. Good position up on the high block for Begeman. So 2 of the big guns now. Begeman with 2 for Isabel. Tony Knorr with 2 for Armour. Both stay in the game, though. Timeout on the floor. You see the time remaining. 4:13 before the half. Armour by 4. He's been so active in there, getting his shots off. He has 11 already. That's half his average. Isabel down by 4, though. 23-19, 4:05 to play, second quarter. Tersteens, one of the 3-point bombers for Isabel, yet to connect on one. Steve Miller, number 45, is checked into the game for Armour as Chris Gehring connects again. 4 for Chris off the bench. 2 out of 3 from the field. Back to a 6-point lead for Armour. Isabel yet to make a substitution, and that was very close to being number 3 on Brooke Begeman. Instead, it's number 1 on Ledebor. And Armour switched it up in the break. Tony Knorr had been guarding Begeman, but Knorr with those 2 fouls. Bernell Glanzer said, Austin, you take Begeman. And Ledebor picks up his first. Begeman long range. Brooke Begeman 2 threes, 14 points already. For the senior, averages 22 a ball game, gets his team back within 3. Ledebor got loose, and I believe they're now in a chase on Austin Ledebor, playing a boxing one with Brownotter chasing Austin Ledebor. So Isabel down by 3. With 2:40 to play before the half. Begeman looking at another 3 again. He'll take it. Just barely caught iron and rebounded by Gehring.
Tough shot from the corner. He had about 3 sets of hands in his face. And pressing anybody.
Quick shot for Armour, not what Bernell Glanzer wanted, and Isabel will run it back the other way. 2:20 to play before the half. Brownotter not real interested in taking that shot. Instead, he'll go to Begeman, and Begeman again. 16 for Brooke Begeman. Isabel back within a point. And they are in the box and one.
And the box and one seemed to slow Armour down quite a bit.
Isabel started in the man-to-man. Armour ran out to that 8-point lead. Actually, it was a 9-point lead at 19-10. And now they've got Brownotter chasing Ledebor. This is Tony Knorr inside, and the foul goes on Kersteens, I believe. Yes, 2 on Casey Kersteens.
Armour still trying to work it in inside. And Kersteens is a little too physical, about a step late for the interception. He ends up getting his second foul for the Wildcats.
Chris Pfeiffer back in for Miller for Armour, and Tony Knorr was right at the rim but left it short. And now Isabel down by 1 can take its first lead since the opening tip. Taken away by Ledebor. Got Brownotter chasing. Austin uses his body well. Little dinner roll. That's 7 now for Ledimore. Back to a 3-point Armour lead. Brown Otter on the drive. What is going to be the call? If it goes on Ledimore, that's 2. And they called it on Gehring before Brown Otter even got to Ledimore, called him for the reach-in out front. Still, he's going to shoot 2. I'm not sure what they saw there, but Ledimore had stepped in, but Gehring rather, was riding Brown Otter all the way in and fouled him on the way up.
Pfeiffer almost in a way helped Ledimore out because I think Ledimore fouled him before he went up. But obviously the foul went on Pfeiffer. He's in the act of shooting. That's why he's standing on the line.
Lance Brown Otter leads him in assists. Averages 7 points a game. That's his first point. And it's a 2-point Armour lead as we approach 1:05 to play before halftime. Wildcats can take the lead if that goes for Waddell, but a rebound by Kirsteens, and Brown Otter will set it back up. Armour in the zone with Knorr and Ledimore down on the blocks. And that's going to be 3 fouls on Tony Knorr. Bierman came hard on the cut, and Knorr just got a hand in there. Not a lot of contact, but nonetheless, number 3 on Tony Knorr. There's the time remaining before halftime. Isabel down by 2 at 27-25, and they're going to play for 1. Waddell with 7 on the clock, pulls up from 17 feet, won't go, rebounded by Knorr. 3-2. Peters is going to get a shot off from midcourt. But at the half, Armour hanging on to a 2-point lead. It's 27-25. Packers. Isabel made a big run in that second quarter, led by Brooke Begeman, who has 16 points here at halftime. Let's go down and see what Burnell Glanzer has to say about the first half. Johnny Wilson, what's going on?
All right, thanks, Tom. Burnell, kind of a physical game inside. Any surprises from Isabel?
Oh, I don't know if it is. You know, they're playing a little box and one now, giving a little extra attention to Ledimore. And we've had a couple shots inside or a couple people open inside, and we haven't executed and got them the ball when they could hurt that box, and we have to improve on that a little bit.
Okay. As far as the second half, what's going to be the key to stopping Isabel from the outside? Looks like they're shooting well from the outside.
Well, I don't know what you can do against a team that shoots well from the outside. All you can do is just keep getting a hand in their face and hope they cool off a little bit, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Okay, Burnell, good luck in the second half. Tommy, Armour ahead by 2 at half.
All right, Wilson, as we said, 16 for Brooke Begeman for Isabel in that first half. And it's 27-25. Armour leading Isabel at the half. Back to the Barnett Center right after this. And again, this event being conducted under the auspices of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Association, as my wife tells me to say it, not association. There you go, dear. Norwest halftime stat board looks like this. Isabel not shooting all that great from the field. Armour was 3 for 12 in that second quarter. They were pretty hot in the first quarter, but cooled off after Isabel went to that box and one on Ledimore. Seemed to take a little bit out of the Armour offense. Neither team shooting the 3 that hot. Isabel's got 2 out of Begeman. He has 16 points. Free throws not really a factor yet. He rebounds even. Neither team turning the ball over all that much, although Armour and Chris Peters got a couple of easy ones in that first quarter off of a couple Isabel turnovers. But we're 2 minutes away from the second half tip-off, and we're back to Aberdeen after this. Yes, you are, and we are back for the second half. Armour leads it by 2, 27-25. They'll turn it around. Isabel will run it left to right on your TV screen. Lance Brownotter and company turn it over first possession, and Dean Boyd will run it back for the Packers. Same starting lineups: Boyd, Ledebor, Peters, Pfeiffer, and Knorr for Armour. And they go right back to the box and one to the Wildcats. Chasing Ledebor, gets the shot off this time, though, a little short. Rebounded again by Bierman, who had a bunch in that first half. Brooke Begeman was the offense for Isabel in that second quarter. He had 11 points, 11 of their 12 points, as they made a little comeback on Armour. Armour led it by 6 after one quarter. They led it by 2 at the half. And they don't lead it by anything right now. Tied at 27 after the hoop by Brownotter.
Obviously, Isabel head coach Brent Linsroff thinking Ledebor is the key. You stop Ledebor, you stop Armour.
Found a defense he liked anyway, didn't he? The box and one where 4 players are playing zone with one guy chasing the man you want to try to stop. And Tony Knorr with a sweet move inside. And that's what he's going to have to do with Ledebor being somewhat bottled up right now. Tony Knorr has 10, and Armour back up by 2. Knorr, though, playing with those 3 fouls that he picked up in the first half, and Begeman right back where he led off. 18 already for Begeman on those rainbow jumpers, most of them 29-29. Ledebor trying to work his way off a couple of picks, got it into Pfeiffer, but taken away by Begeman. This is Waddell. With contact with Peters, but no call. Actually, it was Voigt, but now Begeman, is it going to be on Voigt? Foul will go on Dean Voigt, as he and Bruce Bierman were battling for the board.
Momentum definitely switching with Isabel coming out of the locker room.
Definitely.
Armour trying to play catch-up, it appears.
Begeman turns, fouled. Is that going to be on North? No, it'll be the second quick one on Dean Voigt. Had him surrounded, but here comes Voigt from the left side of the screen and got him on the way up. Armour really packing in that zone. But this guy's been able to find his way amongst the trees in there. Begeman, first free throw of the game. .6'4" senior. Has 20 points. And we are just over 2 minutes into the third quarter. Isabel with his first lead of the ball game, 31-29. Still with the chase on Ledebor. Tony Knorr from 18 feet. Pfeiffer had it for a minute, but Waddell took it away from him. And Uncle Mo definitely is.
They're trying to force stuff in the inside, and it's just not working out for them. They're getting sloppy on their passes, and they're not rebounding as much either.
Brownotter turns it over, and Ledebor this time will not let the ball get out of his hands. And now does, but still being hounded by Brownotter. Peters ties it back up at 31. 10 for Peters. He had 8 of those in the first quarter, did not score in the second quarter. Waddell spins in and out, and Tony Knorr rebounds. Packers want to push it up. Ledebor knifing inside. He got fouled on the way up by Brownotter.
Ledebor with a nice move to the hole right there, and they're not letting him. They're not giving him anything. They're contesting every shot, every time he gets his hands on the ball.
Had him double teamed, but he split the D. His first free throw. He's got 8 points. Came in averaging 22 a ball game. So the up by 2 at 33-31. 4:30 to play, third quarter. All even here in the third quarter. Each team has scored 6 points. Armour, who led by 2 at the half, leads it by 2 right now at 33-31 with 4:30 to play, third quarter.
We're talking during the break. It's such a physical game. Not too many free throws being shot out there, though.
4 free throws total by each team in the first half. Brown Otter looking a little bit more for his offense. This is Begeman, who already has 20 points for the Wildcats. Armour back to the man-to-man now. Brown Otter straightaway 3. 5 in the quarter for Lounce Brown Otter, and he gives his team a 1-point lead. He didn't even look at the hoop in the first half. But Tony Knorr. Foul's going to go on Begeman. That's going to be his third.
About a step late to get the charge on that one. But Brown Otter, the play before down on the other side of the court, nobody guarded him. He just launched up the 3 and nice follow through, nice shot from behind the arc.
Burnell with that. You wouldn't know if he's up or down by looking at him, but he is back up by 1, 34-35. The Pack, and they are back to the man-to-man. This is Waddell. Begeman for 3, a little short this time. Rebound on the backside. And Voigt did have the position this time. Foul goes on Bruce Bierman, his first. Good backside board by Dean Voigt. Only goes 5'11". Giving up a couple of inches to Bierman, but sat on his knees, got the good box out, and let it board. And Armour will run it back with a 1-point lead. Letterboard baseline to Tony Knorr, easy 2. And a great player, if he can't score, he's going to set it up so his teammates can. Letterboard to Tony Knorr, and Knorr has 14. Armour has a 3-point lead. Waddell for 3. A little short, and again Dean Voigt rebounds. Brown Otter took it away, and he's got a 4-on-3 the other way. Taken away by Letterboard. Back to Waddell. Back to Begeman. 22 for Brooke Begeman. .37-36 Armour. Knorr to Pfeiffer. First 2 for Chris Pfeiffer. And last 2 times down, some great interior passing by the Packers. Tony Knorr with the good look that time. Waddell pulls up for 3. He's been short on his last 2. Armour trying to build on a 3-point lead. Pfeiffer, though, left it short. And we're under 2 minutes now to play, third quarter. Isabel down by 3. That'll stay at the Isabel end as Waddell looking for Begeman, and why wouldn't you? He's got 22 already.
Packers playing some unselfish basketball the last couple of minutes. Instead of trying to force things into Letterboard or Tony Knorr, they've just been taking what they get, so to speak.
Voigt and Pfeiffer out. Gehring and Wonder in for Armour. Isabel did not go to the bench at all in that first half, and they have yet to here in the ball game, and they turn it over. And he's excited about something. I don't know if he's watching the game or not. Still in the box and 1, chasing Austin Letterboard. Here he is with the ball. Brown Otter got a hand on it, and it's off of Letterboard.
Burnell Glanzer wanted a foul on that, but he wouldn't get it. Just a tip.
Yeah, usually he'll get that call right at his own feet, but not that time. So both teams have failed to score the last couple of times down. Armour sitting on a 39-36 lead. 1:20 to play in the third. This is Kirsteens to Begeman, guarded by Noor. Noor still with those 3 fouls, and now on the inside. Foul goes on John Wonder, his first. Trying to jockey for position down there with Kirsteens. Still only 3 team fouls on each team here in the second half. Neither team got to the bonus in the first half. Brownotter one-on-one with Gehring, and Lance Brownotter has 7 points in the quarter, 8 in the ball game, and gets his team back within 1. 39-38 Armour. They're going to spread it out. Gehring had it swatted by Begeman. Right back to him though, and Peters will let fly off last. Wouldn't go, and Kirsteens rips it down. With 22 seconds to play before the end of the third. And Begeman didn't want to play for one. He wanted to score. Dribbled it off his left foot though. And with 18 seconds to play in the quarter, Pfeiffer checks back in for Wonder for the Packers, and they'll play it for 1. And that's the first sub of the ball game for Isabel. Richie Hutchison, a senior, checks in for Begeman, who sits down with those 3 fouls. Brandon Heck checks in, number 14, and Waddell sits down. There's the time remaining in the quarter. Gehring. Go. Tony Noor back up off glass. And Noor will shoot 2.
Tony Noor strong off the hoop and strong back up, but Bruce Bierman hacks him on the arm on his way up and shooting 2 for Noor.
Second foul on Bierman. Tony Noor, still not the biggest guy in the world, but he has put on some pounds since last year he was here. Was pretty skinny. He's got some pipes on him this year. A lot of those guys in the locker room, or in the weight room rather.
Yeah. And another Packer that could leap out of the gym.
Pipes, guns. Jay Huizinga, our salesman here, is asking me, pipes? Since he doesn't have any, I guess he wouldn't know what that means. But count 2 more for Tony Noor. He's 6 out of 6 from the line. 16 points for Noor. Armour's going to get one more shot off here to end the quarter. Pfeiffer to Ledamore. So the Packers finish with a 4-point flurry, and they will take a 5-point lead into the fourth quarter. Pfeiffer, nice little dish to Austin Ledamore. Eight minutes to play in regulation. Armour with 4 quick ones in the last 18 seconds there to end the third quarter. They lead it by 5, 43-38. And now a travel on Gehring. They'll give it back to Isabel.
Neither team able to put together a big run and take off in this game. Good game. If we have 4 of them today, that'd be a sweet way to start the state beat.
It's the way we like them. Warner and Sioux Falls Christian will play after this one as Waddell had 6 in the first quarter. He still has 6 yet to find the range here in the second half. 7:30 to play, fourth quarter. Armour by 5. And they know now to be patient on the offensive end. Peters slashing inside, got fouled on the way up. Will it be a shooting foul? Yes, it will. Brownotter, who was still chasing Ledamore, came off and gave a little help, but reached in on Peters. Dean Voigt back in for Gehring. $11 now for Chris Peters. Averages 15 a ball game. Was Brent Linskoff. Trying to figure out how to get some offense going for his team. 7-point lead now for the Pack. 45-38. Christine short on the three, and another rebound for Dean Voigt. Smallest guy in the lineup has had some big rebounds.
Third quarter stats, field goal percentage, Armour 17 to 39, that's 44%. Isabel shooting 49% from the line, and just 15% from behind the arc, 20% for Armour. Armour, 8 for 10 from the free throw line, 75% for Isabel, they're 3 for 4.
Packers patient. Didn't go for Voigt, and he picked up a foul going after the rebound.
Game pretty even in turnovers as well. Armour 8 turnovers for the game, 10 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, pretty clean so far. Still a 7-point lead though. There's a turnover as we speak, and Armour sitting on a 7-point lead with 6:20 to play in the fourth. Isabel yet to get a shot off here in the last few minutes. For the guys in purple, so Isabel will run it back, down by 7. Brent Linskoff wants to talk about it with his Wildcats. We'll take a timeout too. Armour 45, Isabel 38, fourth quarter. I believe those are some young Malloys in stripes. Bob Malloy of Parkston, one of the guys blowing the whistle here in this game, along with Dan Sudbeck of Mitchell. 6 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Isabel down by 7. Brown Otter had it swatted twice. But it'll stay at the Wildcat end. Isabel yet to score here in the fourth quarter, and we're a little over 2 minutes in. Again wouldn't go for Jace Waddell, but Bierman runs it down. Begeman tried to get it inside the Bierman, and there's Dean Voigt again. Come up with some big rebounds, some big loose balls in there.
One of the smallest guys as far as height goes on the floor, but he's a scrapper. He's well-built football player. Doing the dirty work for the Packers.
Oh, Peters and Pfeiffer got hung up together in the air, and it's a travel. Both came down pretty hard, but both all right.
It's a rough game.
Nearly another turnover by Isabel. They're trying to feed it inside to Begeman, but have had several passes here in the fourth knocked away. Foul goes on Ledebor, his second. Tony Knorr, who picked up 3 fouls in the first half, has stayed out of foul trouble here in the second half for Armour, still with just 3. 5 minutes to play, fourth quarter.
Time ticks away in this fourth quarter. Both teams getting a little tentative now, looking for that extra pass. They're not throwing up threes as much as they were before.
And now away from the ball, they caught Casey Kirsteins. With a moving pick or something in there, but anyway, it goes on Kirsteins, his third. And now Armour wants a timeout with 4:52 to play. Still 45-38 Pack. Oh, he's everywhere. He's like a virus. He just won't go away.
The worm, turning into a role model for a lot of these little guys.
Is that scary or what?
That is scary.
Some of those Dean Voigt Armour Packer fans looking on. Armour up by 7, 45-38. 4:40 to play in the fourth, and Armour will be patient. Almost taken away by Begeman, but Knorr recovers. Now they want to call. You saw Burnell Glanzer there at the top of your screen. Tell him to spread it out. Foul on Waddell. So Peters will shoot the 1-and-1.
Brooke Begeman, we're talking about a lot of his offensive abilities, but for a guy that's 6'4", he's pretty quick on the defensive end. You know, he's quick feet and quick hands, and giving Tony Knorr all he can handle on the defensive.
4 out of 4 from the line for Peters. Now a 9-point lead for Armour at 47-38, and time is the enemy now for Isabel. Just over 4 minutes to play. Good back cut by Begeman, and Christine found him. First 2 points of the quarter, though, for Isabel. And they're still down by 7. That's 24 points now for Begeman. Straight man-to-man now for Isabel. Still with Brownotter on Ledebor, though. Peters, short, Ledebor with the 5-inch advantage on Brownotter, and he walked with it, though, on the quick move.
Shuffled his feet. Isabel trying to force something, down by 7. Under 4 minutes left. Maybe that man-to-man, high-pressure man-to-man, force a turnover here and get a couple of hoops back.
Got to crank it up a little bit. 3:40 to play. Christines. Rebounded by Ledebor. He had Pfeiffer out ahead of the crowd, but made the good decision, and that's exactly what Burnell Glanzer said. Good decision, son.
Packers content just taking their time, working the ball around the perimeter, get a good shot.
Armour in its 4th straight state tournament. Won in the first round last year, but then got knocked off by Wakanda in the semifinals. Knorr, Waddell with an Academy Award. Taken away, though, by Begeman. Isabel down by 7. Christines from 17. Air ball, and Peters rebounds.
Force that a little bit. Not the shot Coach Linscroft would want to take, I would think.
2:30 to play in the 4th. Armour back to that Colorado shuffle. Keep moving. Keep the player movement is the most important thing.
And keep the clock moving.
Okay, the second most important thing. Foul's going to go on Waddell on the reach-in. And Ledebor will step up to shoot the 1-and-1. Ledebor held to 11 thus far, but that in great part to the box and one they've thrown on him.
Okay, 1 time.
3 out of 3 from the line. And Coach Glanzer now with a 9-point lead. Linscroft wants to talk about it again. 49-40. His team down, just 2:14 to play in the 4th. Some of the folks from Isabel who made the trek here from Aberdeen, or to Aberdeen. Armour beat Geddes in the region final to get here. They beat Corsica and Plankinton in the district tournament. Isabel beat Midland in the region final. Beat Takini and beat Faith in their district tournament out west. Wax Arena at the Barnett Center. On the campus of Northern State University in Aberdeen. Brooke Begeman, number 40 in white. Just 2 points here in the quarter. He has 24 in the ball game to lead everybody. Brownotter straightaway 3. Lance Brownotter has 11 now, and it's back to a 6-point ball game as we hit the 2-point mark. 2-minute mark, excuse me. 49-43. There's your game clock in the lower right-hand corner.
The Wildcats setting up a trap that almost failed. Trying to create that turnover. They close the gap to 6. Under a couple of minutes left.
Begeman flying down from the top of the lane, got Ledebor in the back. Two-shot foul for Ledebor. .6'3" senior, 22-point average. He has 13 right now. And it'll stay at a 6-point lead for Armour. 1:45 on the clock. Brown Otter. Little bit long and rebounded by Peters. Foul out front that is, on Lance Brown Otter, his third. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Chris Peters. And that is the 10th team foul now on Linskov's Wildcats, so it is a two-shot opportunity for Peters. But the Packers have missed their last 3 from the line. .11 for Chris Peters, 7-point lead for Armour. Begeman's been quiet here in the fourth. Gets it down baseline though, got by Ledebor, that rolled out on him. Ledebor with the rebound.
Wildcats can't buy a hoop. That's 2 that were down and almost counted as 2.
Pfeiffer. Austin Ledebor found him inside. Chris Pfeiffer has 4. Back up to a 9-point advantage for Armour. Under a minute now. Wouldn't go for Christines again. Saved by Voigt, but to Waddell. Brown Otter for 3. And again, hits both sides of the rim and comes out. And the Packers are going to move on here in the first round as Peters will go back to the line. Foul on Bierman.
Well, good game all the way down to the wire. Just the last couple of minutes. Isabel can't get the ball to drop.
And a little cold.
They got some good shots. Armour content and just shooting free throws the rest of the way down.
Seven out of 8 from the line for Peters. 9 out of 12 here in the fourth for Armour. Waddell can't get it to go again, and that Rodman-like guy, Voigt with another rebound. .11 Armour lead with a chance to grow again. Waddell picks up his 4th foul. Isabel takes timeout. Armour is going to run some players off the bench here for the final 20 seconds. And yeah, Johnny, just a matter of Isabel going stone cold there in the third quarter. They got a 2-point basket out of Begeman and a 3-pointer out of Lance Brown Otter, and that's been it here in the fourth quarter.
I think they came out and surprised Armour early as we take a look at a replay with that box and 1 on Ledebor.
Armour went to the spread offense, and Ledebor found Pfeiffer that last time down. Austin Ledebor has 13 points, 9 below his average, but he's helped them in a lot of other ways, finding the open man. But the box and 1 was effective for a while.
Was effective, and they fell behind by like 6 points, and they had to get out of it to make something happen, possibly create a turnover, and that seemed to be the beginning of their downfall, because on the offensive side of the ball, they just couldn't get a hoop to drop.
Went to the straight man-to-man defense, and Armour spread it out, kind of picked it apart, and they've been pretty good here at the line in the fourth. 2 shots for Peters. Eight out of 9 at the line for him. 19 points for Peters, 9 of those at the line. 13-point Armour lead, and John High-Elk, one of the Isabel seniors, with a 3-point attempt. Brandon Heck, Randy Finkbeiner, Bryce Linskov. Who else is in there? This is Linskov, along with Joe Locken in the ball game, and Voigt lets fly as the buzzer will sound. The bucket will not count for Tony Knorr, but Armour has pulled out a 13-point win here in the first round of the State B. 56-43 is the final. Put it away at the free throw line. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 out of 10 at the line for Chris Peters there in the fourth quarter. Let's head down on the floor. John Wilson is standing by with Armour head coach Burnell Glanzer. Johnny?
All right, Burnell, good game down in the second half. It seemed like you held them off on the offensive side of the board coming down the stretch.
Well, they shot the ball really, really well from the outside in the first half, and I didn't think it was because of our lack of defense. Begeman buried a couple threes. He had a great first half, and, you know, it wasn't inside. He got few in there, but he came outside and buried some tough shots. Ledabor was all over him. I remember one in particular here. I don't think he could even see the basket, and he got nothing but the bottom of the net. He's a good player. But all we talked about is halftime. We have to keep getting in their face, and, you know, eventually they got to cool off, and I think the second half their shooting percentage was way down.
Tony Knorr had a good second half for you.
He has to, you know, if they're going to pay extra attention to Ledabor, he has to come alive, and, you know, he's a good player. There's no question about it, and he's got to get his hands on the ball. We got to get him some touches.
Okay, that second game coming up, Sioux Falls Christian and Warner. How do you see that one?
I don't know. I have no idea. Sioux Falls is big, and I've seen both of them play. They're a solid team, and Warner has fans, tradition, and they're close here. It should be interesting and exciting and relaxing for me to watch. Now that I'm done with this, the rest of the day should be a breeze.
All right, Burnell, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Tommy, back to you. Warner and Sioux Falls Christian coming up.
I didn't know he relaxed. Burnell with a smile on his face. His team wins at 56-43 here in the first round. They will move on and face the winner of this next game. It'll be Warner against Sioux Falls Christian. Christian here for the first time since 1988.